Gotcha. Now, let's check the map, and then we'll keep talking about horses. I knew we would. So, nice thing about leasing is you don't have to actually take it back. You just return. I would love if you could take it back and get like something, you know, a little bit of a discount or something like you do when you sell stuff. If you sell it at the store directly, you get a little more money for it. But that's not the case, so we can just do that with leasing. I'm still on my hazelnut coffee kick, even though it hasn't been super cold or kind of cold at all here in the Midwest. Still, it's just such a nice wintry, pleasant coffee drink. And then in about a month or two, when it gets warmer, I will switch to making my own cold brews again, and the cycle just continues. The cycle repeats. All right. We need to get the roller, because we can roll our grass. Yeah, so horses. Holy cow. I tried so hard to, like, figure out how to become profitable with horses. So a couple big issues with them, like big nerfs. They just don't become profitable. So you'd buy one for like 500. Well, I shouldn't say that. They are profitable. But I think if you buy a horse and then train it for 2 years, and you only have to train it once in a while. Like, I think they lose 5 or 10% a day of fitness. And then when you train them, they gain 25. So the upkeep isn't like a daily, you don't have to ride them daily, but it's still pretty often. But even after 2 years, so 24 months, 100% health, 100% fitness, all that, I think I still could only sell them for like $4,000, which seems like a lot. And it is, I guess, but that's like a lot of hay, oats, and like time riding them for that much. And then they don't start breeding until 22 months. So you basically have to have them for 2 years, and then they'll start having their own horses. But again, then you have to train them for 2 years. It was just, it felt like a lot of work for a little amount of money, especially when I was making money, like more money selling eggs, where all you have to do is give chickens wheat. Yeah, it was... Okay, let's make sure this actually... Wow, that is pretty. It actually did the entire field and didn't leave this weird stuff at the top. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now, before we forget, in the bottom right, we're going to... Oh, it's kind of hard to see. We're going to change the grass to barley. And again, we're doing barley because we want to harvest in June. So barley, June. Wheat would be July. Maybe wheat's a little more yield. I'm not sure. Either way, we can't plant till tomorrow, so we don't have to do that today. So we're just going to set this aside. And yeah, it only used, what, 10%? So like 600 seed, something like that. Let's... I really like how that looks when you do a nice roll. If we had fieldstone on, what would happen right now is... Actually, what this is another problem with fieldstone. So we plowed, which means when you plow... oh, there's Gruber. He's going to hit the microphone. Oh, just cuddle. Just sit down and cuddle. When you plow, it brings up bigger stones, so they won't all go away with rolling, or at least this is what I found in my experience, is if you cultivated, they would go away. Oh, we need a weeder for the wheat, but we can just lease one. And we'll probably get a hoe, and I'll show you that. So whenever you would plow, like we just did, you couldn't just use a roller like you would if you cultivated. stop doing that. Yeah, sorry if there's mic noise. That's Gruber brushing his head against it because that's what cats do, I guess. Where was I? I hate sauerkraut. That's all no, I'm just kidding. That's a Weird Al reference for those who didn't know. Also, last night I did have sauerkraut with pizza. It was delicious. Sauerkraut on pizza is the best. So instead of, you can still roll and it'll push down a lot of them, but then you also have to get the picker if you want to get all the rocks, and get a picker and go through it again, picking. And so, especially after plowing, it just became so stone intensive. Like, it felt like that's all I was doing was getting rid of stone. And I just, if something is making the game less fun, and then just turn it off. That's what a simulator is. So if you are enjoying the stone edition, great, I love it. I love it for you. I do not. So it is out of my life. And who knows, maybe in a couple years they'll realize their mistake and get rid of it like they did Animal Cleanliness. Because that was the worst feature they ever added to any game. And it's gone now because it was terrible. Alright, so we're rolling. So horses, yep, we might not even mess with them. I'll keep looking at patch notes. Has there not been a patch since 1.2? When like everything changed? Or have I just, maybe I've just been so out of the loop, but I'll need to check. So unless there's a patch note that's like, horses are now good again. Gruber, I can't believe you. He's just like, he just like threw his paw at the microphone. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm just a little kitten. Just a naughty little kitten. He's not a kitten, he's like 9, by the way, but he's so cute. Cuter than a kitten. The other video, gosh, I'm not really doing anything, I'm just chatting. Gruber, he's being worse than Gertie, and we all know Gertie just is a nightmare when I'm recording, and now he's doing the same shtick. Okay. He's gonna go bite some stuff and then wipe his head on things and hit his tail against the microphone, and this is my life. Who could ask for anything more? The other video I need to update is, as I've been talking about, the fieldwork one. Because as soon as I recorded the fieldwork one, I don't even remember what I called it. Fieldwork? Field preparation? Everything changed like probably within a week of making that video, and that one took so long. Like, not just researching, but like setting it up. Ugh. But then after I made that, then they added like needs rolling and mulched and stone and but yeah, now that I've actually played the game a lot more, I'm probably a little better at explaining it anyway, and the process and the yields and all that. So those are 2 videos I probably just need to remake tutorial wise, and then I'm probably done. I did 2 videos of, what am I doing? Like, do I need to be doing something? You know what? I could at least start getting stuff to the farm that we bought while I'm just saying many words strung together in loosely formed sentences. Let's see, fieldwork, stone. Yeah, so I had 2 episodes of a series that I was calling like Let's Produce, where I was showing, or I was trying to show like the big parts of like full production chains. Like, this is what you need for this output, so let's look at all the input. And I did, which ones did I do? I did clothes. Did I? Oh my gosh, it's been a month and a half. I did 2 of them. Let's Produce. And it's possible I keep making them. I don't know. It was one of those things I wanted to try, and the reception was lukewarm. I mean, it's not like anyone was excited about them, which is fine. That's wasn't what I was expecting or basing much on, but they take a lot of time, like hours and hours of setup, and then of course the recording, which that's a lot of recording that you don't see, and then editing out all that stuff, and just crazy amounts of time for what those videos ended up being. So I don't know. I did enjoy making them. It's just at this point where I don't have hours every night to make videos. Those might be on the back burner for a bit, but definitely still in my mind to continue. I still have my list of the ones I want to make on my legal pad here, so we'll see. At this point, I think I just want to play this game again, which is what I'm doing now. So, alright, so we have our that. Something else we could consider buying at some point, not now because they're really expensive, is like a nice shed. Not a nice one. We'll actually have to buy a bad one. But just even something like this, that faces the farm. Just so we have somewhere to put stuff. It would be nice to have like a nice, actually this one's really nice. This one does look really nice. But we'd put it like maybe away from the house. Just because it looks better. We have somewhere to like put things that isn't just out in the middle of the yard, and I like that. I liked flying deer. We just saw a deer fly. I don't know if you saw that. Floating deer. It the deer. Pennywise the deer. Deer Pennywise. What'd you do to George? Alright, let's just keep getting stuff to the farm while our roller rolls. This is another reason I usually don't roll. The only reason I'm doing this is because of grass. I usually wouldn't. Like I might not even do it for wheat. I might just turn it in. Because again, rolling, I didn't like that stop sign anyway. Rolling only adds 2.5% yield, which is insane. So mulching is 2.5, rolling is 2.5. It's 5 together. It's silly. So I usually don't do it, and you can see why. Like, it takes so much time for 2.5% yield. So even in a field this big, I don't, like, I guess if you were doing like 68, 2.5% would probably be pretty substantial, but also by the time you're doing 68, field 68, like, is that 2.5% really making or breaking you? This silage holds a lot. Like, the loading wagons usually hold like 50. This holds 120, 110. That'll be nice. How much is a pallet? I've never actually used a full pallet. 60. Oh, so let's just buy 2 pallets. That'll be nice, because I really hate having, kind of like I talked about earlier with lime. Until I have a place to, like a nice place to put them. Wait, did I not buy it? Yeah, it's way over there. I don't like a lot of pallets and things lying around because they just sort of are messy and get in the way. Though with this game, it's kind of cool because you can buy like actual silos for random stuff. Is it tools? Container, that makes sense. You can buy like liquid fertilizer, and I think this is for like solid fertilizer, so you can buy just tanks that you can fill up, so you don't have to have pallets. And then you have this other one that just says different products. So I'm assuming this one, I've never actually used it, but I'm assuming you can put just anything random in here, like hopefully silage feed, maybe lime and stuff like that. And then you have your fuel tanks, and of course your water. Yeah, just really cool to have all this stuff at our disposal. We can put in a weather station. I just never check the weather. And what is, at some point we will probably put in lights. I really like putting in lights. It just looks nice once it gets to like 6 o'clock. Okay, So now we have our silage additive tank, which is right there, all filled up, and that'll last us, oh, excuse me. Oh boy, I am out of shape, out of practice with this. That'll last us a while, like a long while, based on my experience with the loading wagon silage tank. The other nice thing about this land, which I didn't even think about, is if we put animals here, we have water right there. Or greenhouses even. That's another good moneymaker, is buying some greenhouses. We could actually probably do that soon, because all you have to do for greenhouses is get a trailer and a pallet fork and a water tank. And then, how much are they even? Like, even if you, why am I, it's under production, yeah. So we could actually buy a couple of these, even if you just, yeah, so if we, like, did this, and we just lined, like, you know, we just put, like, 3 or 4 of them here. Even if we just sold them, like, set it to automatic, so we never had to load a pallet, put them on a, we'd lose a lot of the profit, but even just doing that would still make us a lot of money, because all you do is give it water. So something to consider. Maybe not today. I think we have enough sort of going on in this episode. But ooh, why am I doing this? There's a nice path here. Gruber's back, so if you hear a mic shake, which he was very, very careful just now not to do. I think he knows I'm a little angry. No, not. Nope. He's just biting my headphones. Cool. Cool. Yeah, next time. Like, which might be next episode, might be in 2. I'm kind of trying to batch record since I have some time on weekends to batch record, whereas I really don't have time at nights during the week. I finally figured out, so it'll just kind of depend on how many episodes I think would be good for whatever I record. But next time I do a new session, we'll do greenhouses. So yeah, if we do 3 to 5 of them, it's a big investment, plus a tank. And here's the thing about the tank. I think I would probably just try to go immediately for the big one. This one. Oh, that's way more than I thought. The nice thing about this one is it holds like 4 times more than these. But yeah, it's way more expensive than I thought, but something to consider. And then we would also need the dolly. So we'd either need a truck, which I guess we could have bought a truck. Wouldn't be a bad thing to have. Then anytime we buy like a trailer, we could actually do, and they're fast. Yeah, maybe we will. I never really buy one of these. Or we buy a dolly and just use that as like the middleware between the tractor. Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe we'll take out a loan and buy a truck. I never use them. But anytime I like do a mission and they have a truck as part of the stuff you lease, it's so fun because they're just so fast. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Something new. Okay. Finally. Now, I don't think that rolling actually matters. You see we got like a little thing there. I think once we plant the wheat, we still have to re-roll that. I think the rolling is, yeah, it comes from the planting. So, and I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to shut it off, pretend it doesn't exist, kind of like mulching. And we're going to turn in the roller because I don't want to pay for it for another day. And I don't want to roll another field. So we return the roller. So now all we have is the seeder. which is for tomorrow when we do eat. And now that we are ready, we can actually go to sleep. And that's kind of the weird thing I'm trying to get used to with this game is it's sort of reminding me more of like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, where instead of waiting till night to go to bed, it's kind of like, well, do what you need to do for the day and then just go to bed, because that's all you can do. So we have to plant tomorrow and we can't really do anything today, so it's like, well, let's sleep. So yeah, the seasons thing has really changed sort of my gameplay style. Okay, so yeah, you can see we had a huge leasing cost, but it was still way cheaper than actually buying vehicles, because we didn't need to own any of them, especially now we don't need to own basically anything we used. Next year we might buy a planter, like a planter or cultivator or both. Hopefully we'll have some more money next year. Okay, we have barley and we plant. And then the nice thing about this game is if you can't plant this season, it'll tell you. So you can't really mess it up too badly. Unless I would have kept the grass, then I would have accidentally planted grass right now. But we didn't. So now you can see we still need to roll, and we're just not going to. And we're still fertilized. And we have our grass. Let's see. Grass is here. Barley's there. Growing here. And just a heads up with grass, and I'll mention this again when it actually happens. The first time you see this turn to harvest, unless it's like right before winter and you just want the money, you don't need to harvest then. If you wait one more day, it'll grow a little more and you'll get more grass. So lessons I learned along the way. So if we go get our loading wagon. Oh, you can see in the top right it's going to rain at some point. And in this game you actually do want to pay attention to that if you're harvesting. In the old games you just couldn't harvest in the rain. It would just stop and say you can't do this now. In this one it lets you, but you lower your yield. So you have to kind of keep an eye on things. If you have a worker working and it starts raining, you either have to be okay with a lower yield, or you have to go stop the worker and wait till the rain is gone. Oh boy. Okay, that was aggressive. One thing we should do when we set this down is hook up our baler and change the setting before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget and we're going to get the wrong size and it's going to be a mess. So let's do that. Yeah, I think on our agenda for next time is getting greenhouses, but also getting a little shed. Because it's so much nicer putting these away than just putting them on the grass, but not today. We'll think about that. So actually it's the right bale size. So if we hit L, we can change it to 3 different sizes, and our wrapper only wraps 180 and 220. If we do a 240, then we can't wrap them. And then all we have are grass bales, which aren't really good for anything. So we have 220. And then I don't think we have to set this. No. So we're actually all set up for our silage bales. And I set this up wrong. I wanted... Yeah, I need to remember to put this away correctly. And we're not even mowing right now. I'm not really sure. Well, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. So if we go here to toggle work mode, we may have to... There you go. Might have to unfold it first. But you'll see selected work mode is swath dropping. There we go. Now if we hit Control Y. So wide spreading is kind of what we're used to, where the grass just falls right below where it's supposed to fall, and you just have a huge row of grass. Like, it just takes up the whole thing. That's what it's always been. This is going to turn on like the rotator things, and it's going to collect all the grass to the middle here. So then that plus this will just create like one nice row of grass, just like you would expect from like a harvester, or if you use a windrower. It's amazing. And then left swath, right swath just puts the grass either on the right or left side, and that's it. So we always want to make sure we have swath dropping, unless we're doing hay, because then there's not really a point, because you still have to go over it with the tedders. If we're doing hay, we would just use the normal wide spreading, because then we would have to still ted it, and then we'd have to windrow hay. But we're not gonna work with hay for a while, so let's see. I wanted to get rid of that, and I want this to go here. All right, so hopefully, let's see, October. What's winter? Oh, December. So you can see here, December, January, February are our winter months. I kind of wish they had like a line or like a different background to sort of delineate these or like separate these more, but we should be able to harvest. It'll be sort of shorter grass, but we should still be able to get some good amount of grass in November and show the silage process, and we'll look at the price. But it just, to me, it was a good money maker, and so I really wanted to try starting that way. I wasn't even planning on doing like this also, but we just had the money. Like, I felt like we spent the money well for a start, for a good start. We have to make sure when this is done, we go back and fix that. So, yeah, we kind of have a lot on the agenda that we'll get to next time. So I think one, of course, is maybe a shed. 2 would be greenhouses. Neither of those will take that long. And then I think we need to... Oh, what? We don't have access to this land? Oh, that's not cool. Okay, so I'm glad we looked, so we don't have to put this on our agenda. So the other option is, like I said earlier, we could just get rid of sort of this top row, and then instead of always having to fix like the worker stuff, or even when we did it, having to like go around these trees, it'll be far enough away from the trees that it won't be a big deal. So it's an option, not an option we'll do today. It's actually getting this, well, no, you can see here it missed. Looks like it missed maybe here. Yeah, if I wasn't in the way, you could actually see it on the map. All that. It's probably hard to see it on video. Right there. That's missed, so we have to go back and fix that as well. Otherwise, I think that is a decent start to the farm. What I will do off video, since there's really not much else here to see, I will finish not harvesting. I will finish seeding this wheat. I'll go fix up that top row here, and that little place down there, and then I'll return the cedar. And then when we come back next time, we can just sleep, greenhouse, shed, and hopefully probably silage as well. So that is September. That is August and September in the books. Where's this guy going? See, workers get really weird when you have when they can't access like turning around. So definitely something we might want to paint. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed these first couple episodes of this new series. Like, subscribe, comment below if you wish, and of course have yourselves a very nice day.